Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU.
I'm not joining your Suicide Squad.
We'll see. Let's meet your team.
I need to feel the raindrops on my head. I'm a superhero! I do not mind.
Are you in or out?
See the new trailer online in theaters and on HBO Max, August 6th. Rated R.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on The Suicide Squad. And the film stars Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joe Kinnaman, Sylvester Stallone, Viola Davis, Courtney, Peter Capaldi. You also have Pete Davidson, Daniela Melchior, David McCallaghan, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. You also have Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion. And this is a standalone sequel to Suicide Squad, which came out in 2016, which saw that film in the theater, and I liked the film. Margot Robbie was the highlight of that film, of course, as Harley Quinn. I also liked Will Smith, also where he played Deadshot. Thought he did a good job playing Deadshot in that film. But overall, I liked the Suicide Squad film from 2016. Although the worst part of that film was Jared Leto's performance as the Joker. Just the whole performance from him was just meh, in my opinion. I did not care for it. In my opinion, he's one of the worst, Jokers to ever play in a DC film. Just, with him going, I want to do something really, really bad. Jared Leto was just the worst part of that film. He in my opinion, was the worst Joker. Hell, Joaquin Phoenix was a better Joker than Jared Leto. Of course, Jack Nicholson from Batman '89, hell of a lot better than Jared Leto. Cesar Romero from the '60s Batman TV series, better than Jared Leto. Hell, even Mark Hamill from the anime Batman, he better than Jared Leto. He was better than Jared Leto. He was the worst part of that film, in my opinion. But getting on to this film, The Suicide Squad, you have Margot Robbie, Joe Kinnaman, Viola Davis, Courtney. They're reprising their roles from the first film in 2016. And just got back from seeing the film, saw it in the theater, of course. Nice surround sound that the theater had by watching the film. And I loved this film. I really enjoyed this film. It was awesome. It was gory. It was bloody. It was funnier than the first film, in my opinion. And it was just an all-out fun time. The characters were great. And the film was way better than the first, in my opinion. But the film was written and directed by James Gunn, who of course brought us Guardians of the Galaxy films, both Guardians of the Galaxy films. And the only reason why they got James Gunn to write and direct this film is because he was fired. James Gunn was fired by Disney for these old tweets that he did, and so Warner Brothers ended up snatching him to write and direct The Suicide Squad, and they took it right from there with James Gunn, and he did a good job writing and directing the film. You could tell that it's a full-on James Gunn film. But the movie's about Amanda Waller, who is played by Viola Davis, reprises her role from the 2016 film, and she sends 13 of the most dangerous supervillains out to this island, and she sends Bloodsport, who is played by Idris Elba, Peacemaker, played by John Cena, King Shark, who is voiced by Sylvester Stallone, Harley Quinn, of course, played by Margot Robbie, and a few others to this island of Corto Maltese. And they go there because there's this Nazi prison called Wattenheim, I think that's how you pronounce the name. It's this prison and laboratory on this island that holds these prisoners, and it's also a site for these secretive experiments. And so the team has to destroy that Nazi-era prison, Wattenheim, I think that's how you pronounce the name, and also destroy this giant alien called Starro the Conqueror, which is this big starfish with a big eye. And this starfish releases these little starfish, which takes over, a human's face. And pretty much that's basically what the plot to the film is about without giving away any spoilers. But the characters I really liked in the film. Of course, love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. We all know how great she is in the role. Since we saw her in the 2016 film, which, like I said, she was the standout in that film. And of course, we have Birds of Prey, which came out last year, which Birds of Prey is a full-on Harley Quinn film. It was just Harley Quinn's film for 95%. The Birds of Prey characters were only just there as side characters. So it was a full-on Harley Quinn film. And Birds of Prey is a fun film. Really liked Birds of Prey. And then, her character of Harley Quinn appears in this just as enjoyable as how she was in the 2016 film and in Birds of Prey. But Margot Robbie, she's just great in that role as Harley Quinn. You have Idris Alba, who plays Bloodsport. He's this mercenary with a technological advanced suit, and he also has weapons that he can only use. He was convicted of shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet, and he also has a daughter there named Tilla. I think that's how you pronounce the character's name. And he really wants to reunite with his daughter, and it doesn't go too well, as what you will see when you watch the film. But Idris Alba, he was very entertaining as Bloodsport. John Cena as Peacemaker, he was good as Peacemaker. Of course, we're going to be getting the Peacemaker series, which is going to be on HBO Max next year in January, which I am looking forward to. But Peacemaker, he is this killer who believes in achieving peace at any cost. And I thought John Cena was good for the role. And James Gunn ended up telling John Cena not to read any of the Peacemaker comics. And John Cena originally approached the role with like a drill sergeant. But, James Gunn ended up telling him to act like a douchey version of Captain America. So John Cena was really awesome in the role of Peacemaker. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with the Peacemaker series next year. But like I said, looking forward to that series on HBO Max. You have Joe Kinnaman, who reprised his role from the 2016 film as Rick Flag. He is the field leader for the Suicide Squad. Stallone, he voiced King Shark. Very fun character here. He's a man-eating fish hybrid, human hybrid. He ends up eating the bad guys. He always like, num num, which is hilarious though. He's also one of the standouts of the film, King Shark. And Stallone, like I said, did a fun job, voicing the character. Of course, you have Viola Davis reprising her role as Amanda Waller, who is the director of Argus, and she ends up running the Task Force X program. Jai Courtney reprised his role from the 2016 film as Captain Boomerang, which Jai Courtney, pretty good in the film. You also have the Thinker, who's played by Peter Capaldi, which did a pretty good job here. He is a supervillain. You also have Polka Dot Man, played by Das McCallan, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But Polka Dot Man in the comics, he's the dumbest character in the DC comics. And James Gunn was like, oh, we're going to take the dumbest DC character of all time, Polka Dot Man, because Polka Dot Man is this character that he was experimented on, and the experiment went wrong. His mother worked in Star Labs, and he turned criminal in a suit which was covered with polka dots. And to kill off the villains in the film, he uses polka dots, which ends up killing these bad guys there in the film. But James Gunn ended up turning one of the dumbest DC characters into a tragic character for the film, and thought that was pretty well done by James Gunn. You also have Daniela Melchior, who plays Cleo Cazzo. I think that's how you pronounce the character, but she is Ratcatcher 2. And her character is the heart of the film. This character was very enjoyable and just very different. And her character is a bank robber, and she ends up inheriting this mantle called the Ratcatcher from her father. And with this mantle, she can control rats and also communicate with them. And of course, she also has a pet rat that she named Sebastian, who is always with her. But she was the heart of the film. Her character was the heart of the film, and it was a good performance from her. Pete Davidson, he plays Blackguard. He's a mercenary, and he's manipulated to run his own schemes. He's not in the film a whole lot that much, so it was nice to see Pete Davidson there for a little bit. But the characters, like I said, very enjoyable. The action scenes were just very great, and good film, very bloody, and just all out awesome. Just the action was very awesome. The film was funny. It was funnier than the first film. It was more funnier than the first film, in my opinion. And overall, the film was a fun time. The Suicide Squad, it was a good movie. I loved it. I would highly recommend it. It is definitely worth watching. If you all didn't like the 2016 film, this film will probably be way better for you all who didn't like the 2016 film. But it is definitely worth the watch. It is a very fun film. And if you go see it in the theater, it's a fun time, at the theater, watching the film. Overall, I loved it. In my opinion, it's one of my favorite films of the year, in my opinion. But it's definitely worth watching. But anyways, that's it for my review of The Suicide Squad. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow night with the SmackDown review.